Now to the York City walls, the longest surviving medieval city walls in England. The story actually begins with the Romans because almost everything in Britain eventually does. Around 71 AD, Roman soldiers built a fortress here called Eboracum, and they surrounded it with defensive walls made of earth and timber, practical, efficient, and very Roman. The Romans loved straight lines, engineering, and reminding everyone who was in charge. Later, those temporary defenses were rebuilt in stone, creating a permanent boundary around one of the most important Roman cities in northern Britain. At one point, around 6,000 soldiers were stationed here, which meant York was less of a town and more of a heavily armed reminder of imperial authority. After the Romans left Britain in the early 5th century, the walls didn't just disappear because good infrastructure is hard to quit. Successive groups reused and repaired them. The Anglo-Saxons lived here, and then the Vikings arrived in the 9th century and renamed the city to Jorvik, proving once again that conquering somewhere else is easier if you just slightly rebrand it. The walls remained vital because if you controlled York, you controlled northern England, and historically a lot of people wanted that job. The walls you see today, though, are mostly medieval, built between the 12th and 14th century. This was a time when cities invested heavily into defense, partly because warfare was common and partly because these walls were excellent status symbols. A strong wall said your city was wealthy, organized, and worth attacking, which was both reassuring and slightly counterproductive. The walls stretch roughly 2 miles around the city and include gates known as bars. Not bars as in serving drinks, though medieval soldiers probably would have appreciated that, but it's from the Old English word for barrier. Each bar controlled access to York. There's Micklegate Bar, traditionally used by monarchs entering the city. There's Bootham Bar, guarding the northern road. Monk Bar, the tallest and most fortified gatehouse. And Walmgate Bar. Entering York in the Middle Ages was not casual. The gates were locked at night, the guards checked travelers, and taxes could be collected on goods entering the city. So the walls weren't just military structures, they were customs checkpoints, they were security systems, and economic control all rolled into stone. Medieval urban planning was surprisingly efficient, assuming you didn't mind surveillance and the occasional siege. And York did see conflict. During the English Civil War of the 1640s, the city was besieged by parliamentary forces. The walls played a crucial defensive role, holding back attackers for months. Cannons fired, soldiers clashed, supplies ran low, but eventually York surrendered. Gunpowder, it turned out, was very bad for medieval architecture. By the 18th and 19th centuries, the city walls across Britain were often demolished to allow for the expansion of traffic. Walls were seen as outdated obstacles and inconvenient reminders of a less efficient past. York almost lost theirs too, but something unusual happened. People decided to keep them. The history enthusiasts of the Georgian and Victorian eras realized these walls were extraordinary signs of survival. Instead of tearing them down, York preserved them. Which is why today you can casually walk along the defenses that once were designed to repel invading armies while holding your coffee. Walking these walls now gives you a strange perspective. On one side, medieval streets, towers, and centuries of history. On the other, modern shops, buses, and people checking their phones. The walls don't separate enemies anymore, they separate time periods. Each step is literally a walk along the layers of history. Roman foundations supporting medieval ambition, preserved by Victorian nostalgia, and maintained by modern tourism. It's less of a structure and more of a timeline you can stroll across. And maybe that's why York's walls feel different from other ruins. They're not isolated monuments, they're still part of daily life. The walls survived because the city adapted around them instead of replacing them, which is a very rare historical outcome. Usually, progress demolishes the past, but in here, progress installed handrails. So the York City walls stand as nearly 2,000 years of continuous urban defense, evolving from Roman military engineering into one of Britain's best preserved medieval landmarks. They were built to divide, defend, and control. Now they connect viewpoints, histories, and people. Proof that sometimes the strongest structures aren't the ones that resist change, but the ones that survive long enough to mean something new. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And have you ever been to York? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, see you in the next one.